afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. It is brunch time with Mayegun live. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, welcome to another segment or a session of brunch time with Mayegun. A bit of a snippet into what is still to come, a tip from what is happening in the contraption from last night to this hour. So please, I haven't read the caption of this broadcast. Please read the description of the broadcast as well. Like it, share it, invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them that Mayegun is live. That's all you have to do. Once you share this, you just put it, Mayegun is live. Join us. So from Nigeria this morning, their national grid that is being managed by the greedy or the needy collapsed again. It's always like that. So 3 days ago, it collapsed, and it hasn't really recovered from that collapse. When 48 hours after, it has collapsed again. We are talking about a country that is purportedly over 200 million people, but generating just a patchy between 4,000 and 5,000 megawatts of electricity, distributing less than 2,000 of same. A country in darkness, and still their greed has continued to collapse their national grid, because it's like a grid, the greedy, looting the commonwealth of the needy, unable to maintain the supposed electricity grid called the national grid, and made the country of a darkness. Okay, so Nigeria national grid, there is a video, so I didn't bring that to you. There's a video of a dancing national grid like that. It's like that, collapsing and collapsing back and forth. In 2014, APC, Ebekebe, then promised the gullible Nigerians that all they needed was just to have access to power, to gain power. And they would be generating 10,000 megawatts of electricity every year. And the first 4 years, they promised them to generate 40,000 megawatts of electricity. If they had kept to that promise, by now, Nigeria would have probably have more than 90,000 megawatts of electricity. We probably should be enjoying 24 hours electricity. When these criminals took over power in 2015, 9 years ago, Nigeria was generating over 8,000 megawatts of electricity, distributing at the time over 6,000 of same. But according to APC, that was incompetence, pro-max, they called it. How could Nigeria be distributing a 5,000 megawatts of electricity, generating 8,000? That's a failure. Even the Bantueyo, Isaleko Barack Obama, Fashola, made a statement at the time that generating electricity is just so easy. It is like putting together 1,000 pieces of your I better pass my neighbor generators. Put them together. That's 1 megawatt. So then if you put like a 1 million, no, sorry, if you put 100,000 of them together, that's like, it made it sound so easy. Then they rigged themselves into power under the influence of a change, only for Nigeria electricity to, not only the generation to drop, it dropped drastically. And for the first time in 30 years, Nigeria national grid collapsed for the first time. The last time before then was in 1984, the year I was born. And guess who was their president then? No, sorry, 1985, a year after I was born. So this was in 2015. No? So the person in charge of Nigeria at the time that Nigeria national grid, Nigeria national electricity collapsed, like nationally, was the man they rewarded with the presidency then, Bukwari. He was the military coup leader of Nigeria. And the incompetence was so much that since independence, Nigeria national grid collapsed severally before Babangida removed him. Then 30 years later, these criminals, these career criminals, Tifnumbu and Co., they managed to bring him back, and he repeated the same feat. Since then, Nigeria national grid has collapsed over 200 times. I know sometimes they will say the collapse that affected the entire country is just 98. Others are just like partially. Eko Shidano, the total collapse announced between 2015 and this 2024 of Nigeria national grid has been counted as 264 times. Some not partially, some totally. Sure you get. So it has now become something like it's a normal thing, right? That people just kind of just feel like it's okay. Oh, it don't collapse again. It don't collapse. So let's wait for them. They'll soon bring it back. They have added, I keep saying this, so did you know that in 9 years, APC, Ebekebe, they have not added a single megawatt of electricity to the national grid of Nigeria? 1 megawatt, one. I know that they've told you that they have this one generating this one there, that one generating this and that. This guy met a country that wasn't great, it wasn't so poor, so terrible, right? In 2015. But they told you that you deserved better. That whatever it was you had there in 2015 was so horrible, so terrible. 8,000, go and Google it. Don't kind of believe what I say. Just go on your phone now. What was the Nigeria power generation between 2014 and 2015? Then go and check what is Nigeria's power generation now. Then also go back and check again. What was Nigeria's distribution, power distribution at the time? And then what is it now? APC in 9 years, after spending over $2 billion, if you put the money together, over $2 billion on electricity generation in Nigeria, they've not added a single megawatt of electricity to Nigeria national grid. Not a single one. Rather, it has depreciated so much that they actually want you to be so grateful. So for it collapsing, it also helped in a way destroying businesses. How? Businesses now have to, thank you very much, M. King. That's very kind of you. Yeah, we crossed the 100,000 yesterday. Okay. And then now we are going on to 200,000. Well, before you know it, if they're not shut my Egunzari political down, maybe in another 1 year or two, we may actually cross 200,000 subscribers. Yeah, there's so much to look forward to. Organically, these are like organic subscribers. People who just kind of like, oh, I love this guy. Oh, I love this channel. Oh, oh, I like what this person is doing. And some of them have taken their subscription back. It meant they don't like what I'm doing again. I don't like what you just said. So it's very, very kind of like, soothing. Thank you very much, everyone. Thanks to us, we did it. I will keep it that way. Okay. So we'll keep laying the truth. No matter whose ox is God. Whatever I say to you, okay, you can always go on and check if it is true. Is Mayegun saying the truth? Or is just saying things because he didn't like these guys? I have no reason to like them. You see me, I always hate what I don't like. Here you get, like, I don't like something, I don't pretend around it. I am not a politically correct person. Say, but no, there's no but in my own dictionary. Once I am like, once I don't like people, I'll give you reasons, though. There's no reason to like anything that has to do with APC. But they destroyed Nigeria. They divided Nigeria more. They made us realize who we truly are beyond the facade, the lies of one Nigeria, this one Nigeria that APC actually opened our eyes better. So anybody who is still parading himself as one Nigerianist or one Nigerian is either deluded, is either mental, or is so gullible that they are like irredeemable. Those who are like irredeemably gullible and mad. And there are many like that. So I am not one of those that lie to myself. So you can always check, what is this guy saying? And honestly speaking, I feel like I hold the right to be wrong as well. I am not always going to be right. But you see, what I found out to be fact, there is no amount of political correctness that can change that. Here you get. So, and I do prepare my dear Templars as well, to make them realize that lying to yourself will not make the lies become the truth. Do you understand? Trying to live in denial will never change the facts. Here you get. It won't change the facts. What will actually heal everybody is to tell ourselves the truth. It is very tough. It can be very tough for some people. But it's so easy. If you are a Templar on Mayegun's Diary Political, and I've told you that you must never, for any reason, like or respect any of these rogues, whether they are like the pulpit bandit or pastor preneurs, or because of your religion. You must never respect or like any of these rogues because they are like sheikh, abi imam, abi sultan, abi whatever nonsense they call themselves. You must never be swayed by them. You must never be swayed by tribe or ethnic, because from our findings, right, we've discovered that these Olori Brukus come from every tribe, every ethnic nationality in that contraption, from every religion. So they will take advantage of you. So you will be so gullible and so stupid to fall into their political correctness and say, because this person is Yoruba, or because this person is Igbo, or because that person is Hausa or Fulani, or is from my Igede, you'll be so stupid to believe that or fall for that. Or because he's a Christian, or because he's a Muslim. Nah. When we are dealing with these criminals, right, who are pretty much like a cross-playing, they do not have religion. They do not have any tribe. They do not have any ethnic, because their loyalty is to the system. As long as the system pays them, they will sacrifice any of you, all of us, including children, women, children. They will sacrifice every one of us for that feeding bottle. So you'll be so stupid to get carried away by tribe, ethnic, religion, and other nonsense they used to swindle you. On Mayegun's Diary Political, you come to that reality. So that's why you can't like me, with conditions. You have to like Mayegun unconditionally. Here you get. You have to like me. You have to respect me unconditionally. Once you don't attach condition, once you don't cherry pick, we can't be friends. And I mean, I've kind of like, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I've made my own peace with that. And that's why I keep telling people that you do not hold me anything other than just your ears to listen. And you don't have to agree with me. You can always be an independent thinker of your own. Everything these guys represent is like what the Christians call the weapons fashioned against us. So you get, there's no one that hates us more than the criminal politicians and their friends, their dirty, stinking elites in that contraption. All of their actions is to either make you and I impoverished or enslaved, and they will do it gleefully. Yeah, they have no regrets whatsoever. There's nobody that hates Nigeria more than these criminals. Go and check it out. Even though they may gaslight you, blackmail you, that you are not patriotic, there are no other unpatriotic elements in Nigeria than the criminal politicians, their friends in the elite circle, as well as their friends, the pulpit bandits you call your pastors, and the ones you call your imams and afas and all those ashiris, dedes, all those loribuku dedes. Their actions, they work together hand in hand. They will be destroying Nigeria. They will be asking you to pray for Nigeria. Then you will be thinking your prayer is not being answered. Or maybe God doesn't really like you. Sure, you get, but it has nothing to do with whether God likes you or not. It has a lot to do with you if you even not actually like yourself. You can't pray for criminals whose only agenda is to destroy us by their actions. They want us to be very grateful too. Whenever they fix half a kilometer road or 1 kilometer road, they want you to kneel down and praise them. If they manage to put electricity in your clinic, right? They want you to kneel down and scream and say, thank you, God, and all that stuff. So they want you to see that you don't have any rights. Whatever they give to you, just see it as a privilege, which they can choose not to. And that is why we are all living in this mess that you're seeing today. And the rest of us who have the capacity decided to japa. And others are trapped in there. So on Mayegun's Diary Political, everyone you see on here is so organic enough that if you are truthful to yourself, you are going to stay. So thank you very much, M. King, for that. They took advantage of our people's gullibility enough that they have destroyed everything. They have never added, and they still have no plan of adding 1 single megawatt of electricity to Nigeria and businesses. And that is why you have seen a lot of businesses dying naturally. Because you have to be your own local government. After paying all the taxes, they have been double taxing, triple taxing, quadruple taxing, quintuple taxing you from everywhere. The taxes that most of them, like 70 to 80% of it, never even make it to the national treasury. Okay? They borrow against the unborn generation, so that they can leave them in perpetuity of indebtedness. They are going to 100 years to this time. Some of the unborn generation, if that contraption still exists, they will be born into poverty. The poverty that is orchestrated by this greedy few. They can't make the refineries work because they are the people who are importing the petroleum, paying themselves subsidies. They can't let the electricity work, the electricity of the country work. Because if you all kind of begin to have electricity, you will become more productive. You will spend less time inside the churches or inside the Babalawo's shrine, or spend less time inside the mosque praying to Sky Daddy for things that can normally you can get if you have a working system. So they'll keep it that way. So they are the weapons fashioned against us. So if you are in any way, have any feelings for them, my job is to see if I can liberate your mind. But I can't shave your head in your absence. You get. So which means your mind must be here, and you must be honest to yourselves. You must not be part of those cherry picking, what to think of, who to talk about or who not to talk about. That's not what Mayegun's Diary Political stands for. I don't think for people. I can give you line of thoughts where you can sit down and be like, man, it's true. Okay, what is my role in all of this? have I been indirectly, right, promoting the criminals myself, or the ideologies of these criminals? And then in return, have I not been hurting myself? Because every time I feel like not standing up to these guys, am I not in any way encouraging them and encouraging them to continue this evil? Am I not a direct victim myself? So the kind of line of thought that you sit down and you'll be thinking like, it's true. Oh, have I not been defending these criminals because they come from my tribe, or because they come from my own ethnic nationality? Or is it because we share the same religion? Have I been honest in my deeds? That's what my Egun's Diary Politico does. And I do it very well. I promise you. So M. King, thanks so much. Oh, that's just eulogy for all of the Mayegun's Diary Politico subscribers, especially on YouTube. Nigeria was importing 50% of needed needed PMS for local consumption 9 years ago. These guys came in. They have spent over $4 billion, $4 billion in refurbishing, reviving the supposed Nigeria refineries. Now, refineries that were working at 50% capacity. I don't know if some of you even remember anymore. Go and Google it. I'm asking you to search these things because they are always on the internet. They are there. I'm not doing this beer parlor gist with you. I want you to grab your phone when I say something. Just Google it and say, oh, my ego is a lie. Oh. And yeah, I can actually withdraw that and say, okay, maybe it's a lie. No, because it's not. Nigeria refineries, Warri, Port Harcourt, right? All these refineries were working at 50% capacity 9 years ago. But the person who was in charge then, Goodluck Jonathan, was called so many names: incompetency, a drunkard, very corrupt, and that, only for these murderous thieves to take over Nigeria and wreck everything. And then they want you to be grateful. If not for Boko Haram, that's what they said for 8 years. If not for Boko Haram, Nigeria would have collapsed. How? Nigeria is collapsing totally now. From the economy, there was like nearly $600 billion GDP economy. By the time Boko Haram was done, Nigeria economy was less than half of that, which is 258 billion. Do you know what that means? A lot of you lost half of your whatever you probably should have earned in 8 years of Boko Haram. And that you can tell on your currency, the Naira. And the businesses that couldn't cope, that left Nigeria. The, what do you call it? The cost of living crisis. But that was just a child's play to what Tinubu will bring about within 17, 18 months. It took Boko Haram and his gang to destroy Nigeria by half. 8 years to do that. But from where Boko Haram stopped, Tinubu took charge. Within 18 months or 1 year, 1.5 years, so they have destroyed Nigeria beyond what you can imagine. And they are telling you that if not for Tinubu that took decision, is taking this. Which decision? What decision? Over $4 billion. Do you know how much they spent on the subsidy during that period? Oh, we're going to need a bigger calculator. Nigeria was paying 700 billion naira a year on subsidy, and you were buying a liter of petroleum for 87 naira. Have you forgotten? 87 naira. 8 years after, it took Bokwari 8 years to move a liter of petroleum from 87 naira to 187. It was actually officially 167 naira, 165 naira or so. But there were places where it was being sold for 187 naira per liter. It only took Tifnumbu between May 2023 to October 2024. That's like less than, that's about 17 months to move a liter of petroleum from 187 naira to